Thanks for joining us on Footy SA. You get involved in the conversation on social media via Twitter at Footy_SA, of course, at Footy_SA, or find us on Facebook, Footy SA on Facebook. Time to talk some SANFL football, and of course our SANFL update always by the magnificent Farmers Union Iced Coffee, and we'll get our Farmers Union Iced Coffee medal nominee in just a moment. Let's have a look at the results in the round 14 of SANFL football. And as you can see, Norwood had a very tight one. A win over to South Adelaide. It'd be good to get their season back on track, though. Sturt lost again, importantly, against West. Central's back in touch. And then, of course, Port and North Adelaide next week. But some interesting results there, James and Dean.
Got to go to the Norwood-South Adelaide game on Friday night, Hutchie. An 8-goal opening quarter to Norwood set them up. Good finish by South Adelaide, and it was close. But, you know, Norwood, the back-to-back premiers, look like they've got their season up and running. I think they've won 4 of the last 5. So they've got themselves back in the 8.
Yeah, playing well at the right time of the year. And what's happened to South Adelaide? They've dropped right off.
Well, they looked. I still think they're going to make a till for it. Don't I know it's your old side, mate?
Yeah.
And they, look, Gotchi's got them playing some very good footy. I think they were a little bit undermanned on Friday night. They certainly fought back. So, but the SANFL is shaping up to just be an awesome competition, and it's going to be very tight, Hutchie.
It's building well. Newton, who's had a good season for Norwood, kicked 3, and Xavier Gotch, the coach's young bloke. Well, not so young bloke anymore, but what was best for South Adelaide. The ladder as it sits at the moment in the SANFL, and as James said, it is getting tight with Port on top. Sturt loved that win yesterday, and you can see Norwood are the big movers there, James, so you're spot on.
Yes, and as I said, they've moved into the top 4 there. But look, you know, Centrals are still the very important side in this competition who can have an impact. I wouldn't write them off for the last part of the year either.
It's going to be fascinating. Well, one man who knows it too well is the man who won the McGarry Medal last year despite missing 4 games as a Port Adelaide AFL player. He's gone to Richmond this year and he's on the verge of his 100th game as well. His name's Matt Thomas. He joins us. Welcome.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you here this afternoon. It's been an unbelievable move for you to Richmond. Worked out wonderfully well after what must have been the best year of your career last year.
Yeah, it was. Look, a disappointing year at times. Obviously, would have preferred to be playing, you know, at the top echelon in the AFL, but having a great year at Norwood, the boys were fantastic, and we had such a good team-orientated year, winning the premiership and, you know, some individual honours as well, which were great.
We're going to get on to your Norwood days in just a moment from last year and earlier. Let's have a look at your season so far at Richmond. You've played 10 games. Has been a tough year for the footy club, but there's been some good opportunities for you.
Yeah, there has been. I think it was really nice to have a sea change and head down to the Tigers. Dimmer's put a lot of faith in me early, starting me in the midfield, and that's my preferred position. So it's been really good, and I've really enjoyed being able to be a part of that side.
Matt, you know, you're a Sandringham boy and you've kind of grown up in that TAC Cup competition. How did you find, you know, the SANFL competition in its own right?
Yeah, it's funny, like last year was probably my first year of playing a full consistent year of SANFL. In the past, you play in drips and drabs, often coming off injury or suspension or poor form. So I think to play a full year there, I've got a lot of respect for that competition, and the guys that are playing in it are all really capable players, and they could all play at the next level, you know, if they had the opportunity. So I think, yeah, it's a really good comp.
Well, winning that highest individual award, mate, that's a great achievement, and congratulations on doing that. I think it sets yourself up as well.
Yeah, thank you. It was terrific.
Yeah, Matty, I know you really well, played with you for a lot of years. I know how professional and how determined you are. I know how disappointed you would have been last year at Port Adelaide, because you obviously want to play every week. To mentally get yourself up, to not being picked every week, to go out to Norwood and dominate and keep backing up and having a positive attitude, has that made you a better player now going to Richmond? You've grown up a little bit now and thinking this is, you know, the opportunity now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, it comes with a little bit of age. Maybe early in my career I probably would have been a bit more disheartened at the fact that was going on, but, you know, I was at the stage in my career where I knew I still had some good footy ahead of me. So having a lot of support from my partner Stacey, we just sort of put in a bit of a plan for the year and said, look, we look like we're going to be in the SANFL most of the year, let's get something out of it. Yep. And I went to Bass early in the year when I had the feeling that I wasn't going to be playing much at Port, and said, look, I really want to build my game, I want to become a player that can go forward as well and be damaging there, as mainly as like a, you know, hold in forward, pressure forward. So we sort of worked on that in my game. I started a lot of my games in the SANFL at half forward, and I think I just based it around consistency off the field as well, just having a plan and really working towards that, and not getting too caught up in the emotion of not playing each week and not heading into a Friday meeting umming and ahhing if I played. You know, terrific if I played, but if I didn't, I knew where my role was at Norwood, and the success of the team and trying to help them win a premiership was my motivation.
Yeah.
It couldn't work out any better as we have a look at your Norwood days. You said you started half forward a lot. Your game really did develop last year. What point of the season did you think, do you have a chance to win the Magarey? And did you set yourself it?
Well, it's really funny. I actually still didn't believe, even on the Magarey night, I said to my partner, Stace, I said, oh, do we have to go? Like, I really, because I'd been delisted the day before and I was pretty flat. So it was just really funny. We really didn't think I'd be the shot that I was. So yeah, it was really uncanny to win it.
So and to further that, I mean, to go on and win the premiership, I mean, you know, that must be just a terrific opportunity in terms of, you know, sharing that with a group of blokes that you work hard with all year.
Yeah, well, each week, you know, we're developing relationships and trying to mentor some of the younger guys coming through that, you know, names that I've just seen playing well on the weekend, which is great to see. Like, so I think it was a great opportunity, really, to play in that competition and to be, you know, part of a group of guys that really were willing to do everything for each other to win that flag. And, you know, I think if they are around the mark later in the year with form, I think they'll have a real tilt at it. I know Port have got the numbers and the names, but Norwood do have that sort of that way to win, and their experience in September.
Last one for me. Why do you think you didn't play more AFL games last year? And did you give up, or did you always think there was another AFL club for you?
Yeah, look, I don't think I ever gave up. I think the reasons were, you know, Port had changed their direction a little bit. They were looking to play a lot of the younger guys. Ollie Wines came into the side, who played some really good footy. So Andrew Moore at the time was getting a lot of footy, and I see this year's only played one game. So I think Ken really decided he was going to go down the path of youth because of where we'd been the year before. And I think, unfortunately, at 26, you're not really in that sort of that youth policy. And you know, I still felt that I had a bit to offer. I still felt like my footy was improving. I still felt like, given more opportunity, my games were, you know, were improving. So I just sort of really thought I'd work on my game. I knew that there would be a chance at the end, and, you know, some of my people that I play with closely, like Brogue, said, you know, you've got footy ahead of you, you've got years to go, so don't give up on it. And I think that was the attitude that I had to take. Stay
with us, Matt. We'll have a look at the nominee this week for the Farmers Union Ice Coffee Medal, which is a magnificent award. He would have been almost impossible to beat in last year. $5 grand up for grabs each and every week for the player that's hard-working, determination, has a win-at-all-cost attitude. And Billy Stretch is a nominee this week, the young wonder child, James.
Yes, and it's great to see, you know, father-son, and, you know, I think Billy's really set himself up for, you know, what will be an exciting time at the end of the year come the national draft.
Melbourne will definitely take him, won't they?
I would think so. And look, you know, the system works whereby, you know, clubs have to nominate what round they think that player is worth. And look, I've got no doubts. I think he will even fit into that second round draft pick.
Okay, that's fascinating. Let's have a look at the nominees so far. These are really hotting up in the Farmers Union Ice Coffee Medal. Get on the Farmers Union Ice Coffee Facebook page and ours. Let us know your thoughts. These are the nominees so far, with Symes and Wonky among them, Cross, Michael Newton, Steve Summerton, and as we turn the page, Joe Anderson, Kieran McGuinness. So some pretty good names that you would have played against, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at those names, plenty of those guys I've played up against, and you know, just looking at that, there's a few Norwood boys there too, so it's good to see them getting their names up there. There's some good players out there.
Should be fascinating. Thanks for coming in. We've got a night for two at the Majestic Roof Garden in Adelaide, South Australian, family owned and run for over 25 years with a great Wi-Fi and the fantastic facilities. That'll be a good mate, good for Stacey, who's been pretty patient for you.
Terrific.
Thanks for coming in, Matt.
No
we appreciate
worries.
your time on Footy SA.
Thanks for having me.
Matt Thomas, one of the great guys, Magarey medalist. He'll always have that on his resume and doing great things at the Richmond Footy Club. Some more SANFL footy, some Port Adelaide and local footy still to come.